Hi, everybody. Dave here from Amore Style Tarot. I'm doing another tarot card reading. This one's made public. And on the phone with me right now, I have Toni. Hi, Toni.
Hi.
And say that again.
I said, hello, Dave.
Okay, so we're picking you up. It's pretty quiet.
Oh,
And so Toni found me through, how did you find me online?
I believe it was through Mahala.
Yes. So if you didn't know, Mahala is my mom. And so I was introduced to astrology. I was introduced to tarot, I Ching, a bunch of the Eastern philosophies when I was about 12. And so to me, all this stuff seems to be kind of natural in a way. And so now that I'm a grandpa, I've had time to be able to do things like create these cards and be able to basically things that I've seen unfold in my entire life, I can now start to talk about them, thus doing tarot. So I'm glad you found me through my mom's website.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people go through that website on a regular basis. I love seeing the comments there too.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're here to do a tarot card reading. So
Yes.
what's on your mind? When's the last time you had a tarot card reading?
It's probably been, I don't know, maybe 6 months.
6 months, okay.
So,
So,
yeah.
and where did you go? What type of reading did you have?
At the metaphysical store.
Okay.
And I also have my own deck.
Oh,
But,
okay. What kind of
not,
deck do you have?
I have the Rider-Waite.
Okay. And for anybody watching, the cards that I've made are modeled after the Rider-Waite cards too.
Yes, I saw similarities, yes.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes. Okay. And thank you. Okay. So, without further ado, what's on your mind? What would you like a reading about? How can I use? So, before I phrase that too much, let me give you a little background. So, the way that I use cards is that we want to talk. We want to basically start talking about what you're interested in. And then there'll be points in there that there'll be things that you say and how you say them that lend themselves very well to a question. And once we can frame a question, we ask the cards. Now, what do the cards represent? The cards represent a tool to the subconscious. Now, for anybody that's been practicing any consciousness science, you realize that there's very little awareness consciousness, but there's this huge amount of unaware consciousness. So we have the consciousness that beats your heart, that controls your breathing, that does your digestion, that is able to get the energy of your digestion to your muscles so you can do things with them. It's not random. It's done by consciousness. And so when we use the cards, the whole point is to be able to shape a question to ask the subconscious. Now, what is the subconscious? Well, it's consciousness, and it is our consciousness. We are all connected via the subconsciousness. This is everything that is conscious is connected to the consciousness. And when we go to the cards, we go for your divine self. We go for Toni's most divine connection, what Toni's divine self wants to be able to show Toni. I am just a conduit to get to that. Does that make sense?
That does.
Does that clarify things and make it easier here?
That's very clear. That was actually one of my questions was,
How does it work?
well, no, do the cards have a message for my consciousness?
Okay. So does consciousness have a message for consciousness? So I was kind of expecting that. When I saw how you commented on the website, I was expecting that you were going to kind of be open to whatever the cards would lead you to.
Right.
Okay, so let's do this. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to open it up for the cards. And so I've shuffled the deck already, but take a moment here to think about the things that you're going through. Think about the things that you're trying to accomplish, the things that you're passionate about, the things that you're intellectually challenged with, the things that you are emotionally connected to, which generally represent what's going on with the cards, or your spiritual journey. things that are inherent to the cards. And then let's take a moment to draw a card for that.
Okay.
So, and then the card that we're going to draw is going to be, we're going to give a free rein to the subconscious to show us a card and lead us, if it's one card or two cards or whatever, into the path that we want to talk about. Okay?
Very good.
Okay. So I'm going to draw that card. And for me, as the conduit to get into this, what I do, you'll notice that in all the videos that I do, I don't look at the cards when I'm drawing. I've shuffled the cards, and if I find myself consciously choosing where to draw the next card, I shuffle the deck. And so the whole point is to remove my conscious awareness from the drawing of the cards. And so here, simply draw out a card, and we get the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords card is a card of decision. And so, Toni, you are on my website. We're going to scroll down. Scroll through the cups, through the wands, and you get to the swords. And then click on the Two of Swords.
Okay. All right.
And as you can see that page, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So the Two of Cards is indecision. Refusal to face the situation. Stalemate, choices, truce, blocked emotions, stress, denial of something. Because this card suggests that there's a decision that needs to be made, but you're refusing to make it. So are you in a situation somewhere where you're putting off making a decision?
Oh, my goodness.
So nothing comes to mind right away?
Well, there's a couple of different things that come to mind. Yes.
Okay, so before you share those, let's go one step farther, because this card's a really simple card. It's simply showing us that we have a decision to make. There's a decision that's at hand that you've been putting off. Let's go and see if there's another hint in another card, and the other card happens to be the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups. We'll go back a page in the browser, and then the Ace of Cups is scrolling up. Click on the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups shows us that this is a cup of emotional fulfillment, start of a relationship, love, compassion, creativity, emotional abundance. It's the intuitive aha moment of understanding, which is clear and pure regarding some emotional insight. Okay, so that there's a spiritual connection of emotion, a birth or renewal bond. So the cards are hinting that there's an emotional thing that you're going through that you need to make a decision about. Now, does it get any clearer?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so still pretty hesitant on that yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Because,
go ahead and talk.
what comes up for me is something that I haven't really thought about, but all of a sudden when you ask that question, it came forth, and I'm raising my grandkids, and
Okay.
it's getting to be too hard.
Okay.
And
So the topic of the grandkids then. Let's look at that. So we're going to draw a card for the subconscious, because the subconscious is leading us down this path. Let's draw a card with relation to this particular topic and see what it has to say. See if it kind of affirms or disapproves that. And so here is the card. And the card is the Tower, upright.
oh,
Okay, so we'll go back, flip down, scroll up to the Major Arcana. We get the Tower. And the Tower is experience the separation or duality provided by the ego, learning the lessons associated with not being connected, or experience what it's like to be disconnected. The glorification of man. So the Tower card is about the ego. It's about the practices of the capabilities of man. This one is upheaval, restructuring, new order, disaster, sudden change, revelation, being punished, thought concepts challenged. Does that sound at all like this?
oh, it all does. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how old are the kids?
They're 10 and 12, and I've had them their whole lives.
Okay. So when we scroll down a little bit in this, we see that ether here it is consciousness, karma, attraction. Okay. Well, this card, I'm going to go into the Tower just a little bit. The card represents the power of the ego and all the lessons associated with it. It is a glorification of the intellect at the expense of the divine. It is about what I do or what man does. It is the divine to be unique and experience life as being separate. Is the drive to be unique. It represents all the man-made structures and tools that feed the illusion of separation. Upright, this card represents the fallacy of this thinking and shows that when you do not follow the rules of the divine, you do not have a foundation to stand on. The ego is set, so let's look at that one. So upright, this card represents the fallacy of this thinking. It shows that when you do not follow the rules of the divine, you do not have a foundation to stand on. So my impression is that you have a strong spiritual practice.
Yes.
Okay. So in the raising of your kids, are you bringing in those spiritual practices?
And yes, Sam, and they're not. They're like, oh, Mimi, like stop it, like like they roll their eyes.
Okay.
And, I feel unheard, and I feel it's so important for them to get this stuff.
Okay. So, did you notice how the feeling in the conversation changed here?
Yes.
Okay. So, what do you think about that feeling? Is that strong or is it weak?
Strong.
Okay. So, take a breath. Relax about it. It's going to be okay. So the coolest part about this, the whole reason for doing the tarot card readings, is to be able to get to a feeling. We want to get to a feeling, and I think you've just done that.
Yes.
Okay, so it's okay. So I'm going to put these 3 cards away because the subconscious has led us to that point of an emotional connection. There's something fairly powerful here. There is something going on, and so. Clearly, you can feel it. Clearly, I can feel it. Probably everybody watching this video is going to feel that. Okay, but what we want to do is, what do we do about that?
Right.
Okay, so let's take the conversation that way. So, just as a matter of fact way, it is what it is. Okay, I remember. Years and years ago, it's, the I am that I am. It is what it is. And so in the act of raising anybody, so I've raised a couple kids. I have grandkids now. My experience is that they're going to do what they're going to do.
Right.
And when you think about, when you put yourself back into when you were that age,
right.
What did you do?
Right. Right. But I did keep it always in the back of my head, though.
Okay.
What my mother had said. So.
Okay, what did your mother say? In the back of your head, what did she say?
Oh, all different things.
Okay, so when you made that little statement, what was the thing that she said?
Well, she would give me books, Chariots of the Gods. She gave me Edgar Casey books, and then it didn't hit me until years later, but I realized I was also on that same path.
Okay.
But at the time, I was a kid.
Yes. So when you were a kid and your mom handed you that stuff, how did you react when you were a kid?
I thought it was cool, but it wasn't for me right then.
So did you roll your eyes and say, "Oh, Mom, really?"
Maybe. Probably. Yeah. Right. Because I was a kid, right?
Say, "Mom, are you crazy?" It's like, what's going on here? Okay, and so, and you see the reaction in the grandkids.
Yes.
When you hand them stuff. So you're doing what your mom did.
Yes.
Okay, so times have changed.
Yes.
But times are still the same. We're still human.
Right.
Okay, so So I would just sense that there is a strong desire to be able to share those similar things with your grandkids.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you do that today? Do you hand them books?
I will show them the eclipses or just talk, and maybe too much. Maybe they're just, I overdo it. I probably overdo it.
Okay, so let's hold on a second there. So we're going to draw a card for that. So weird. So if you, to me, that is it's kind of a fatalist statement. It is it's something where it kind of shows that you've given up a little bit. Let's go to the subconscious and see if the subconscious can give us a card related to that statement, which is maybe I do this too much. And let's see what we draw out. So we're drawing out the King of Coins. So hit the back arrow on the website, scroll down to the bottom, you'll find the King of Coins.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay, so what word stands out on the keywords to you?
Oh boy, power,
Power.
control.
Okay. So what stood out to me was hard work. Okay, teacher, counselor. Okay, so that there's the King of Coins represents an accomplished person, somebody in life that's made a bunch of money and he's got some experience and he needs to share his experience. This is a court card. This is somebody that is in your life, or somebody you are supposed to be, or ideals that you want to get to. And so here we just drew the King of Coins about this statement. To me, this represents that you have some advice to be able to give to the kids. I'm going to read a little bit farther. This card represents the energy of a highly successful businessman that has reached a level of respect that his opinion moves the population. There is security provided by the wealth, yet power in the word. This is the energy of a highly educated man that is willing to help improve your life. So I'll hold it right there. So this sounds like what you're trying to do.
Right.
Say that again. Yes or right?
That's very right. Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
So the cards are showing you that this path is, there's some power behind this. As you saw the word power, there's power behind this path. And so we're going to draw one more card there. Should you give up on trying to present spiritual concepts to these kids? And I'm drawing the next card. And we get the Sun reversed. So flip back and then take a look scroll up to the top. In the end of the Major Arcana, you find the Sun card.
Got it.
And then scroll to the Sun reversed, because we drew the Sun reversed.
Okay. Oh, abuse of power.
Yes. Okay, so it makes you laugh. So I love the fact that even though we're on a serious topic, the cards can make it playful. Okay, they're basically the cards are showing you here by this random drawing that I just pulled this card out of there. It's not my doing, it's the subconscious is leading this card out.
Right.
Basically saying that we have the King of Coins, which is the teacher. It is the one with the whys. It is the one that is there to improve the life of people. And we say, well, should you give up on this? And it says, no, you're going to remove power. You're removing the power. It's cold and ineffective. You don't want to remove the power. So the cards are suggesting that there's a reason for you to be doing this. Okay, do you feel that reason?
And the reason to not
No.
remove.
So the cards are pretty clear here, to me, at least. And when you get to review this online, you'll get to see this too. That you're in a position to teach them, and should you quit? No, you don't want to quit. There's some work to be done here.
Yes.
Okay, but
Okay.
but as we saw with the previous card, that what was it? I forget which card it was, but there was hard work associated with it.
Yes.
Okay, so the subconscious is saying, and if you are interpreting it this way too, that because you have teachings, it's pretty much saying that you want to share those teachings with the kids. Okay, but at the same time, you're at the point of giving up. You're like, it's hard work. They roll their eyes. They just don't give it any respect.
Right.
Okay, if they were to give it respect, how would you feel about all this?
Oh, I think I would feel much more at ease. I don't know, but it's not about me.
Okay, well, there is an aspect about you here. So rather than trying to push it off, so it's like you are intimately involved in this. You are linked to it. You are in the situation of responsibility. You have the kids.
Right.
Okay? So there's really no escaping that.
Right.
And you have this fundamental deep down drive to share these spiritual aspects of life.
Right.
And they aren't really embraced open-heartedly.
Right.
Okay, so these last two cards, I'm going to tuck them away and I'm going to shuffle again. So where we want to go with this is we want to look, okay, where I would suggest we go with this, but I'll still listen to what you have to say. What I would suggest is that we go to the cards to see if we can get some advice for you with regards to how to present this information, what to look out for, what personality traits that you can use to your advantage to be able to present the information so that you feel confident that you presented it. What they do with it is up to them. I mean, I'll bet your mom said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Right.
Okay? So you can present all these spiritual concepts to them, but you can't make them adopt it.
Exactly.
Okay? But the cool part about it is when you plant the seed with somebody, it might be 40 years later that they create a tarot deck and they start giving readings for people.
Yes. Right?
Okay?
Right.
Okay, so I've shuffled the cards. So what do you think about looking towards the cards for advice about how you can share this information with them?
Excellent. Sure.
Okay, so we're going to let the subconscious bring up things for us to talk about and see if it can trigger something within you, trigger a technique that you're using, to trigger some thought that you had when these cards come up. So the first card is the 10 of Coins reversed. So we flip back, scroll to the bottom, the coins, and the 10 of Coins reversed. So here we have financial failure, we have loneliness, loss, missed inheritance, fear of poverty, no legacy, worn out.
Wow, that all describes how exactly everything.
So the 10 of Coins card is the card of that living in the upright positions, living happy ever after, with regards to your financial future, with regards to your business. When you get it in the upright position, reversed, this card, let's see here, the feeling that you can't get up and the dog doesn't want to play with you, type of thing. It's as if everything's given up on you, as if the whole world is turned against you, as if everybody has their back to you. Okay, but if we look down a little bit farther, let's go to the dog. The dog's loyalty. Inverted, this energy shows that a cowering and fear in the presence of someone or something, or the feeling of being beaten. You need to reconnect with that which is loyal to you and allow it to help protect you. This could also represent the loss of a best friend by being mean or critical. Opening your hand is the first step towards reestablishing your relationships and showing that you're ready to heal. Does that bring up anything for you? Particularly, you need to reconnect to that which is loyal to you and allow it to help protect you. Does that bring up any thoughts for you?
Yeah, somewhat. I'm trying to follow along here, and I lost where you were. But,
It's okay. So that's fine. So let's forget about what I said. So you're on the 10 of Coins reversed, right?
Yes, right.
Okay. You see the card, you see the meanings there. take a second and look at this. Is there anything that stands out to you?
Of the keywords you said?
Or the feelings or the description?
Oh, the feelings. Okay, the feelings. The feeling that you, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, the feeling that you can't get up. That one, and yes. Yes. I feel, yes, I feel negated and right now, and right at this time.
Okay.
Feeling. Everything, just everything's hard. Everything's just weighing and thick and hard, yes.
Okay.
Exactly how I'm feeling right
Okay, then we're going to go to another card. So we're going to keep this one in mind. We're going to draw the other cards. We're going to look at it. So in this card, when you get a chance to review this, take a look at the dog and look at loyalty. And then when we come back to it, we're going to go to the next card. We're going to see what it has to say with regards to how you can, what you should look at with regard to helping you in this situation. And so I'm drawing the next card. The next card is the coin, 9 of coins. So,
Oh my God, okay.
and it is reversed also. So the 9 of coins. And we scroll down to the reversed.
All right. Okay, wow, okay.
So the keywords, overinvestment in work, financial setbacks, never satisfied with achievements. Key feelings, looking at your naked figure in the mirror and wanting to change what you see. Okay, so the feeling associated with this is things are never good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, you look at it and you see flaws in it rather than seeing the beauty of it. Rather than
Right.
if you're naked standing in front of the mirror and you're constantly saying, I want to correct this, I want to correct that, I want to correct the other thing. It's like, I need to save some money so I can go change these things. Whereas the reality is, you are what you are. You already are the temple.
Right.
Okay? What you see is what you get. I am that I am.
Right.
And so here, related to this conversation, there's that act of wanting to change it. Okay, so you have the children, and you might have this feeling like you need to change them.
Yes.
Okay, but is it really change that you want to do?
Right. Right.
Or is it, think back to the King of Coins. The King of Coins is the teacher. He's the one that is going to show what he did. It's going to show how things are going on. He's the one that has the experience that is in a position to lead by respect.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Okay? And so here we have the dog, we have the loyalty item, which is the dogs don't want to play with me. And we have the 9 of coins, which is I feel like I need to change the situation. What if the cards are leading you to being more of a role model of saying,
Right.
offering the opportunities without telling them that they're missing out, without making it more like there's this exciting side of life that they're missing out on, but you're going to do it and you're going to show them through your passion.
Okay. Right. Okay. That's a big one. Yes. Okay.
Okay, because you're passionate about it. So you just had a thought there. So you have a recognition, even though I might not have the words to explain it. Hold on to that feeling for a second. Okay? And we're going to draw a card going to the subconscious. So we're letting the subconscious lead us into this. And the subconscious sees a ace of coins. So you're getting a lot of coins with this. So with regard, so click back, go to the ace of coins upright. And all of a sudden, we get new enterprise, financial propositions, manifestation, new financial opportunity, prosperity.
Okay.
So the feeling that you have been selected for the job, okay? So that feeling that you just had there,
Yes.
do you want to share a little bit about that feeling of what you were thinking?
I was thinking that I can be very stern and not happy with anything, yes, and not looking at the bright side a lot.
Okay, and what I was talking about that led you to that was leading from your passion.
Okay, right.
Okay, And so the card that came up there shows that so when you get to watch this again, you're going to be able to realize a little bit deeper into the thought that you just had there. And the Ace of Coins shows that that's where the adventure starts. This is the start of your adventure. This to me is a really good card to symbolize that when you start to adjust how you present the information, then you're going to feel like you are uniquely selected for this job. That you are in a unique position. You have an understanding. You are the teacher. You have the experience. And you get to lead through your reputation, which is the King of Coins.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
It is very cool. Yes.
Okay, so we're at the halfway mark. We're at the 30 minutes, or we're farther than halfway. And so generally at 30 minutes, I like to be done at kind of 30 minutes because
Yes.
the cool part about it is with you and your reading here, you kind of knew about the cards and you saw the reading that I'd done earlier, so you were kind of prepared for this.
Right.
Which means it took us a little. If you notice, it took a little while for that connection to be made about what the topic was.
Right.
But you recognized it right away.
Right.
And here we are. We've now worked through it a little bit. And that, to me, if I were to summarize, trying to remember the cards that we've been through here, that yes, this is a very powerful job. This is a very powerful honor that you get to have, where you get to influence somebody, okay, in the way of raising a kid. But you are a little bit older, okay, because you're not the parents, you're the grandparent. Okay, which puts you in a uniquer situation. And the complication can be the fact that you didn't grow up with cell phones, but they are.
Exactly.
Okay, you didn't grow up with video games, but they have them.
Right.
And so the idea is to be able to show them the spiritual aspects of all of that. Okay.
Very good.
And so I'm going to draw a card, which is going to be an advice card. Generally, it would be the last card we would draw,
Okay.
unless you have a question about this. There's something that stands out that you're just aching to ask before we shut this off.
I think I'm good.
Okay. There's always that hesitation that, oh no, I should have asked this later.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But the cool part about this is it brought out a very deep topic, and it brought out something that touches you. And so you're going to be well aware of this as you move forward. We're going to go to the cards here. I'm going to shuffle up a little bit to look and see if there's something that the cards want to bring out that they recommend that you look at again with regard to this topic of how you provide the spiritual teachings to the grandkids, or how you can approach the situation, or how you can make this easier for you, or how you can make it to where the seeds that you plant today, you'll have confidence that they're going to grow tomorrow.
Very good.
And we have the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, well, that's good.
Okay, so let's flip back, go up to the Major Arcana cards at the top, and the Wheel of Fortune. And you know a little bit about the card, so you say, oh, that's good. So the card, generally, when people look at this card, the very simple interpretation is good luck. In the reverse, it's bad luck. But how I've defined it here is that in the upright position, this is a fundamental principle card in life. The Wheel of Fortune card is in a collection of rules and laws. So on my website, you'll find a video that I did which explains the Major Arcana cards. And the Wheel of Fortune card is the card that represents, you can take the horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Right.
Okay, it is the free will card. Everybody has the ability to choose one thing over the other. And so when you do your spiritual practices, when you lead by example, when you show where your passion is, remember all the while that these kids have free will. Okay? They're going to choose one thing or the other. But all the while, you get to show them what it's all about.
Right.
Okay, so I'll let you look deeper into the Wheel of Fortune card. I'm pretty excited for you on this. What do you think?
Excuse me, I think, yes, is what you had said about planting seeds, yes.
Okay.
And I need to be more flexible.
Flexible.
Young kid, definitely.
Well, that's just part of getting along with anybody.
Right,
You know,
okay.
When you think about just an interpersonal relationship, there are compromises that have to happen. There's interactions that have to happen. But when you are the adult, there's also discipline. Okay, and discipline, if it's done right, is not abuse. Okay, being able to set the ground, be able to be firm with regards to it, and being equitable. So a follow-up. A follow-up would be, take a look at the video that I put up with regards to the major arcana cards and scroll to the middle where I talk about the 6 moral cards. And so I'm going to flip back. So here we are. So I'm flipped back to the card page. And that collection of cards, so if you scroll to the top, you'll find Strength.
Okay. Yes.
Find Strength, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hangman, and Death. Those 6 cards all represent fundamental principles by which people need to understand in order to live in a society.
Okay.
And so when I went to research these, because there's this conflict through the tarot cards with regards to strength and justice. You know, which one comes first, which one comes last, and then they most people talk about these 4 moral cards. Well, if you go look at religious teachings, you go look at what the gurus and the philosophers and what the basically the religious teachers that have come along before us, they've defined principles. So even if you go read each one of these cards, you'll get the concept of what I'm talking about here.
Okay. Right.
And of course, you got the Wheel of Fortune, which is free will.
Right.
Okay, so what do you think about this?
I think that you're very good.
Okay, so I'm just a conduit. So go ahead.
Yeah, right. But you're a good conduit. I think that we touched on some things that I probably knew anyway, deep down. You know, but yes.
Okay, so that's fine. So I appreciate that. When it comes down to it, that's what the subconscious reading is all about. It's not about me to be a psychic and figure out what's appropriate for you.
Yes.
It's about the cards connecting with you. The cards are drawn for you to look at, to bring up a thought for you. And if I can guide you through the process, or if the tarot reader can guide you through the process, you're the one that directs where the conversation goes.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. We're at 38 minutes, so I'm going to cut the recording off and tell everybody that, you know, it's like I do these readings. Take a look at my website. If you want a reading like this, feel free to get a hold of me, or follow along. Register on my website. You'll get the fuller, deeper meanings of the cards. And get a deck and start to learn how to read tarot. Learn how to connect for your friends. Anyway, I will talk to you soon.